Hey friends, John here from Proverbs 27:9 Fragrances. Today we're going to be doing a full review and comparison of two fragrances. One from the house of Parfums de Marly, it's Greenley. And the other one from the house of French Avenue, and it's Aether Extrait. Let's talk about that. All right, if you would, go ahead and make sure that you like the video, that you're subscribed to the channel, and that you got the notifications turned on. That way you're notified every time we upload this sweet smelling fragrance related content. So been a while since I've done a video. Been doing a lot of videos with my son on a different channel. We have a college football podcast that we do together, my youngest son Sawyer and I. It's called High on the Hog podcast. So if you're interested in college football, typically mainly SEC football, and focus on the Arkansas Razorbacks, go over there, give us a subscribe. But that's what I've been doing with a lot of my time, what little bit of free time I have lately. But I recently ordered my wife some samples from Parfums de Marly's website. I got her the feminine pack, and then I threw in some other ones. And when I did that, I knew that I wanted to get myself a 5 ml sample of Greenley so that I could do a full review and comparison with Aether. And the reason I knew when I did my Aether first impression video, I knew that it was really close. I've had full bottles of Greenley in the past. I've actually owned that fragrance twice. Didn't have a current bottle, and so I wanted to get, again, a 5 ml is a good size little bottle, so that I could do a true side-by-side comparison. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to put, I've already got the dry downs. This is on my left hand, Greenley, on my right hand, Aether. I sprayed these probably 2 hours ago. If you can see, I don't know if you can see the sheen, but there's definitely more sheen left on the Aether, and I sprayed them best as I could equally. I did 2 sprays of this and 1 spray of Aether, because this in a full bottle is going to put out more juice than a decant, but I felt like I got them pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and do fresh sprays on the insides of my wrist to give, again, that the opening. That French Avenue atomizer, I don't know if you can see, but I don't like how there's space between the bottom of the atomizer and the top of the collar. But it does put out a nice, spray of juice. It's a light plume, but it's a nice pressurized atomizer. So in the opening, they are slightly different. Parfums de Marly Greenley is more green. It seems like the petitgrain note sticks out a little bit more than it does in Aether. They smell, I think I said maybe they were probably 80 to 90% close. I mean, these are 95% close, honestly. I'll say that Aether is less green and maybe a hint, barely a hint sweeter. Neither one of these are overly sweet to me. When you compare them to, just the super syrupy sweet stuff that's on the market right now. It's fresh green apple, bergamot, mandarin orange. It's a nice, juicy, citrusy apple green, kind of tart, dry sweetness, if that makes any sense. The note listing on both of these fragrances nearly identical. I give you the top: green apple, bergamot, and mandarin orange, and I think there's only one note difference in the listings. In the mid, you got petitgrain, cedar, cashmere, and violet. And in PDM Greenley, there's an added note, pomerose. It's a synthetic, supposed to be a fruity rose note. And to be honest, I don't get much of a rose in either one of them. I get more of the violet, and there is a slight floral component to it, but it doesn't come across at all like any type of rose fragrance. I don't like rose fragrances. If there was a strong rose in this, it would definitely stick out, and I probably would have never bought this because I wouldn't have liked this in the first place. So then in the base, it's oak moss, musk, and amberwood. And none of those stick out. It's not like it's a super mossy. There's this nice green, musky, woody base to it. What this is, it's a super fresh, zingy, that green appley, kind of green bergamot, almost ambroxany, zingy, almost gingery without the smell of ginger, but the way ginger in a fragrance makes it lift and sparkle and have this little bit of a bite. It's a freshie, again, all of that, and then you've got some subtle kind of violet floral notes in the middle, and then it's a nice, like very musky, little almost kind of salty, musky, woody dry down. I'm gonna make this video short. You can go back and watch my first impression of Greenley. I really liked the fragrance then. I still like it today. You can go back and watch my first impression of Aether. Really, I just want to tell you how they perform. And I've waited about a week to do this video because I couldn't believe the way they performed. The bottom line is Aether performs better than PDM Greenley does. Like I said, there's hardly any sheen left after 2 hours on my wrist, nor would you think maybe after 2 hours you'd still see a sheen, but you still see one on the right hand where Aether was sprayed. And if it didn't come through in the video, I'm telling you, it's blatant without the lens. Aether lasts longer, it performs better, it projects better, and honestly, I prefer the opening of Greenley slightly better. They're really, really close. I think I prefer the opening, but the mid and the dry down on Aether smells better than Parfum de Marly Greenley. It's funny when you go through Fragrantica, you just look at the first 3 to 5, on each one of them. PDM Greenley, everybody's like, oh, super fresh apple, so natural, so great, love it. And then you go over to Aether and it's like synthetic mess, garbage, trash, whatever. I'm telling you, I've smelled a lot of fragrances. I promise you, it would take a master perfumer to be able to tell much of a difference between these. I would love to see some of you folks that think that if you think this is great and this is trash, I would love for you to prove it. I would love for you to sit down and let somebody spray these on paper and on skin and not tell you which one it is and let you pick them out. Because I'm telling you right now, these are 95 to 99% close. They both have a little bit of a synthetic vibe to it. But they both smell very, very good. It's a good synthetic. It's not a trash on either one. It gives you that old cool water vibe, if you're not familiar with this fragrance. It's kind of like a modern green Irish tweed or cool water or, aspen. It's in that wheelhouse of fragrances without smelling old and outdated. It's like if you made cool water in 2022 or whenever Greenley come out. It's sort of that, and so that's what you're getting. And all of those fragrances have a little bit of a synthetic, feel to them. Even Green Irish Tweed, which has a little too much violet in it. I wish the violet was turned down in that one. I think it would smell much better. But I said all that to say this. Now, you can get PDM Greenley for not a horrible price. You can get, a lot of times you can find the smaller bottle, and their bottle sizes are weird. Let's see. I can't remember. I think it's a 75 ml. Like this is my Leighton. Just regular Leighton. You can get this size, the 75 mLs. A lot of times you can catch them for like 140 or under. Some used to on our fragrance, you could get them for like 110, 120 sometimes. I even seen them like an open box for 99. Those are real rare, and Aura, I don't know what's happened to them. They stay out of stock on most of the things I want. I hadn't ordered for them in a long time. They used to be my favorite discounter. But you can get them for, 150, sub 200, and that's not a bad price in the world of niche, perfumes. But comparing them, this one it performs better, it's louder, it projects, it lasts longer. It's got a better atomizer. It's higher concentration of oil. Smells good. Smells better in the mid and the dry down, and is a fifth of the price. I mean, you can get this for less than $50. I think it looks good. The lid shape is a little funky. Gives it kind of a little, but I don't know. It kind of also looks like some of the higher end niche fragrances too. So for my money, if you're picking between one or the other and you want the best fragrance, I honestly think French Avenue's Aether is the better fragrance. So even if money wasn't an object, but it is. So not only are you getting a better fragrance, but you're gonna pay less money for it. So those are my thoughts on these two fragrances. Let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all those things, share the video. Remember, Proverbs 27:9, fragrances, perfumes, they rejoice the heart. And so, God bless till we see you down the road. I say frag on.